Let us now untap for a new episode of the Proffessors. Hello everybody, and welcome to episode 4 of the Proffessors and episode number 1 of Ahoy, One Community. Welcome to a bonus episode of the Proffessors, and a special welcome to everybody who may be watching us from MTG Cards for the first time. Today is what I hope to be a long line of episodes of Ahoy. Now, for those of you who are first-time watchers of the show, allow me to introduce myself. Hi, I'm the Card Professor, and I'll be ranting to you about Ahoy today. What is Ahoy? Ahoy is a for-fun set created by Tom, Dom, Gavin from MTG Cards. Monday Night Magic, to be more exact. The set progressively became a bit more serious, and as the fans and artwork archive grew, so did the cards. To this date, the set has 295 cards. However, recently Tom has decided that the set is a bit too much to handle and searched for a new host to do a show. That host is me. Now, I know the majority of people out there are saying, what's some kid doing talking about magic? We want a real host. Well, Mr. Pro, and yes, you know who you are. Don't be so quick to judge. I implore you. I've top-aided states, been playing Magic for 7 years, and have won many cases of product in my day. I hope that this show can become as much yours as it is mine. Hopefully more. So let's go. Reading through the cards from MTG Cast, I have to say, some of them were a great deal of fun to play. I tried making proxy decks out of the cards and versing my friends with them. It was really fun. But looking at it from a different perspective, if we want this to be a real, plausible set, we need a bit more structure. I'm sorry to say that many of the mechanics were, well, a bit if. Picture this. I play an 11 mana spell. However, it has Lawless, so I play it for free. But, oh no, I just lost 11 life. But, well, we're playing an extended, and I got my Kamigawa cards. And guess what? I just abused an 11 mana spell by playing it for free and gaining 11 life from that certain Kamigawa card, and just raised the storm counter by 2. Whoops. It's Affinity all over again. Now, you see what I mean? A bit unfair. However, with some new ideas we can fix that, I think. This will all ultimately be up to you guys, but here are the suggestions for the current mechanics. Swag. When a creature is put into your graveyard from play, you may pay mana cost. If you do, you may play this card as if it were in your hand without paying its mana cost as an instant. Otherwise, remove this card from the game. Iffy, that will be for you to decide. Bounty. If this creature is placed into a graveyard from play, target opponent gains mana cost life. Okay, I like the flavor of this mechanic. It's fine to keep. Let's keep it. Plunder. When this creature deals combat damage to a player, you may tap up to number untapped non-land permanents that player controls. Those permanents do not untap during the player's next untap step. How do I say broken in more places than 8? Lawless. While playing this spell, you may pay X life. Each life you pay reduces this spell's mana cost by 1. As I already said, broken in 10 places. Vengeance. If a source an opponent controls has put a creature you control into a graveyard since the end of your last turn, this creature comes into play with number, +1/+1 counters, and has haste. I don't think there's a way to put this in. This thing can get abused in too many ways, and although it may sound a bit limited with the since your last turn part, I can't see this ability as one to keep. Savagery. You have Savagery as long as you control as many or more creatures than each other opponents. This ability definitely has the potential to become an entirely skill-based mechanic, and I can see it as such. So as long as the effects aren't broken, meaning the individual savagery effects, like we didn't have any problems with Kinship and Morningtide, so I say we'll keep it. Mandate. As you play this spell, you may pay an additional cost. If you do, this spell cannot be countered. This sort of sounds like a minor split-second related mechanic, maybe even less so than split-second. But I'm willing to be one for diversity, so I'll say keep it, even though it does sound like Kicker 3, Kicker 2 being replicate. Structure. When card name comes into play, put number +1/+1 counters on it. If damage would be dealt to card name, remove that many +1/+1 counters from it instead. This creature cannot attack or block. This sounds like an interesting twist on the phantom creatures, and I'm willing to reamp this ability to make it sound a bit more like this. When card name comes into play, put number +1/+1 counters on it. If damage would be dealt to card name, remove that many +1/+1 counters from it instead. This creature cannot attack or block. If damage would be dealt to you, deal it to card name instead. I think this ability, assuming it's only going on things like walls with limited abilities, sounds perfectly fair. Sneak. This creature comes into play with number, sneak counters on it. Whenever this creature deals combat damage, remove a sneak counter. As long as this creature has a sneak counter on it, it is unblockable. This sounds a bit tedious, to be honest, and a bit possibly too complicated, so I think we should change it to something like this. Sneak, number. As long as this creature has number or less power, it is unblockable. That makes it a fair card mechanic, and at the same time, Johnny's trying to figure out a loophole here, and I think I have one in mind that would make for a decent combo, but I'll leave that for next time. I don't want this rejection to sound like I'm getting rid of everything, because that's not what I'm trying to do, and I don't really want that to be my general intention to you guys either, so I just wanted to tell you that. That's not what you want this to be either, so what I'll do is give you choices for new mechanics. However, before I do that, I'm going to wander off on a side note a little bit. Last week I logged on to YouTube, happy to see that a new face had come to Evan Irwin's account, the Ferret. For those of you who have no idea why I'm talking about little cute giant field mice, it's because I'm not. The Ferret is one of the most inspirational writers there is to date on the web. He talks not only about the game itself and the competition of the game, but everything around it, which is what makes a good Magic writer. The ability to correlate a Magic game and do something outside in the outside world is one in itself amazing, and the Ferret does just that. So I log on to YouTube this day and find that the Ferret has created a video about why Magic reporting sucks. I know that this became such a big hit because the Ferret did what he does best. He related the outside world to Magic reporting. Not only that, but I'm sure 90% of the people, me included, will now start reading his work because they can see how great a reporter he really is. On a sadder note, this week was Dom's last on MTG Cast before he leaves. That's right, Dom, the creator of the show, the guy you would log on to MTG Cast and would hear rambling with that audio that never seemed to stop going and not quite enough lack of rambling to be called a reporter. However, later Dom's empire grew and grew, until we are here today at the point of episode 87, where Dom finally said goodbyes. Thanks, Dom, for all that you did for the show and all that you have brought to the Magic community as a whole.